Hello everyone, I'm Coyote Jack, and man, so this one really disgusts me when it comes to these corporations. That now they want to redefine what is piracy. I'm not joking. That these fuckers did this shit. So this news came yesterday that Japanese man gets prison sentence and a 1 million yen fine for writing monetized spoiler-heavy summaries of movies and animes. So a Japanese website admin was recently charged with violating the Copyright Act for posting summary articles of the Overlord anime series and Godzilla films. So arrested and sentenced to prison for spoilers. Not even like piracy, just spoilers. So let's read this one quick. A 39-year-old website administrator located in Tokyo, Japan was recently charged with violation of the Copyright Act for posting quote-unquote spoiled articles. You know, remember when The Last of Us Part 2, or my favorite word for that shit, Angry Lesbian, got spoilers leaked through Telegram because, well, a disgruntled employee said fuck this shit because Neutered Dog really was pushing it all the burden of their developers to create dog shit for to replicating the dog shit creative decisions of Neil Druckmann. Well, people were talking about it, or even people have awareness that they should not share directly spoilers footage of any of that. But they were talking about it and doing a rephrasing of what was happening to those spoilers about Joel dying, forcing to play as her killer, that her killer, how buff she was, because, of course, Neil Druckmann was pushing trunification in a fucking apocalyptic dystopia and all of that nonsense. And the ending that, yeah, even that Ellie was in her right to kill the Joy's killer, she didn't because revenge, bad blood, and all of that nonsense. You had people talking about it and changing it in ways, not even describing the scenes, and still they got attacked by fucking Sony and all of its subsidiaries, and even got way worse than for them because they also were flagging themselves on YouTube. That was awfully retarded. But well, spoilers are nothing new, but receiving prison for an event that constitutes a copyright violation. How? How that ends in a copyright violation? Well, let's see. Containing breeding summaries of summary and anime plots, as reported by Asahi Shimbun on April 16th, the Tokyo District Court sentenced the man to 1 year and 6 months of prison with a suspended sentence of 4 years. Hey, remember when we clowned on South Koreans because they were pushing more punishment for pirates, that the punishment equal to be more aggressive than punishing a PDF file. Japan also do the same shit because they worship their corporations. This shit needs to stop because it's also what destroying them. Remember that also Kadokawa and most of the Japanese corporations at this point have engaged in DEI global homo retardedness. Well, let's continue. And a penalty of 1 million yen of six $6,300. Oh no, excuse me, 1 million yen. My bad. 6.3 thousand dollars. Oh man, $6,300. The criminal complaint against the website administrator was filed back in late 2024 by Kadokawa Corporation and Toho, the copyright holders of the works, summarized on the website source Content Overseas Distribution Association, hereafter CODA. The problematic articles in questions included a full summary of 2023 film Godzilla Minus One, owned by Toho, and the third season of Overlord anime, owned by Kadokawa, which aired back in 2018. So they are okay. Let me get this straight. This guy in 2026 is being arrested for a already 8-year old spoiler and a 3-year old spoiler. I read that right. Seriously, what the fuck is wrong with the fucking Japanese copyright laws? This shit needs to be dismantled entirely because it's also going to destroy them. But even if they don't listen, at least I warned them. I fucking warned them. Man. So according to the prosecution, the Godzilla article was over 3,000 characters in length, explaining the plot of the film in detail from beginning to end, while the overall summary piece also included character names, transcribed dialogue, actions, scenes, plot twists, and several screenshots from the anime. Consequently, Kadokawa and Toho argued that this style of article constitutes an quote-unquote adaptation. This part, man, this what really triggered me. That really made me livid. A spoiler is labeled by Japanese law as an adaptation. You can't straight out go fuck yourself with that one. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. So they twisted wording to abuse the already broken copyright law system to put this guy in prison. But hey, the mangaka that actually did Cheese Pizza is still free, avoided prison, and also the same company that was receiving backlash, which we also covered, well, he went back to working there. Seriously, what the fuck? Man, so let's continue before losing myself. A quote unquote adaptation of the original works and could thus be considered copyright infringement. To give some context, under Japanese copyright law, a quote-unquote adaptation refers to an act of creating new work by making creative modifications to the original while preserving the essential characteristics. Well, I have seen inspirations and other stuff can fall to the same category, but do you do? Or at least we have seen actual blood and rip-offs that actually exist and have been called out. Or I remember when one case for a Chinese AI slot game, he was using the image of one of the characters from Blue Archive, the leader of Problem Solver 68, Aru. And people called it out, and of course, it was demonstrated that was a blatant ripoff. And end of the story. But yeah, like the way how they're abusing this man, oh man. So yeah, let's continue. So that's considered an adaptation by their own standards. Okay. It asks that creation and distribution of such a content, quote unquote, still clearly constitute copyright infringement that goes beyond just fair use or quotation, and is a serious crime. And excuse me, I skipped that. Yeah, excuse me, my bad. I read that incorrectly. So yeah, I was here. Yeah, my bad. Excuse me. So consequently, creating an attention required officials' permissions from the author of the original work, despite the website's owner defense arguing that the summary articles could not be considered adaptations since the essential characteristics of the original works presented through footage, music, acting, etc. cannot be conveyed by simply by summarizing it via text. The court ultimately ruled against them. Another quote-unquote problematic point brought up by the prosecutions that played a part in this ruling was the fact that the website was monetized, meaning its owner quote-unquote unfairly earned a revenue by disseminating copyrighted works. But you don't know if there was something about other commentary in monetization. But do you do? At least the correct approach should have been just at the NCA. If even I will be the benefit at the NCA and just end of the story. Ah, it's just stupid. They just twisted definitions to abuse the copyright law system. That's what happened. While Coda considers spoiler sites to be less severe instances of infringement compared to pirated websites or illegal uploads of the content itself, it argues that the creation and distribution of such a content still clearly constitute copyright infringement. No, it doesn't. It's not copyright infringement. That goes beyond just fair use. You can say it's not fair use. I could agree to that. But like sharing full details, you could maybe have a point. Even I will give benefit of the doubt. But you know what happens when someone go after spoilers, just like that with that example of The Last of Us Part 2? It's probably because they don't feel too confident in what they are producing, and they don't want people to know that, oh, so this happened, and oh, I should skip it. Or there is also cases where some spoilers came and people say, "Oh, so this is something related to that." Also, I'm hopeful of what's going to happen, and people will gladly consume it. But this part here, so or quotation, and is a serious crime. In from a moral perspective, people consider that a crime. From a legal perspective, honestly, it doesn't. It's just stupid. I don't think anyone should be jailed for sharing spoilers. But it came from the company itself, from an employee. Yeah, at that point, I actually can't agree with because someone like that should not be doing that because he's breaking NDAs. But someone outside of it that found those spoilers by third-party sources and just formulating a spoiler document, even like for real, I don't think that's too severe. But this is what Japan has done recently. Yeah, this is fuck off. So that's all I wanted to share here with you for now. Thanks for watching and please take care.